What's happening, people? Welcome back to the podcast. Today we have a very interesting guest for you. This is Mike, everyone, Mike Winnet. I was basically down at a YouTube rabbit hole one day, came across a video called The Contrepreneur, and when I clicked on it, I recognised the accent because it's very close to my hometown accent. Watched the video. I will actually let Mike explain the contents because I'm sure he can do a better job than me. Just stalked Mike through Instagram. Sent a DM. I thought this would be some interesting shit. So, Mike, welcome and thank you for taking the time out of your day. Can you explain to us the meaning of a contrepreneur?
So, a contrepreneur is what I describe people that are on your Instagram feed or on Facebook, and they target you and they're selling shovels to a gold rush. So they're promising untold riches, wealth, success, health, whatever it might be, in a ridiculously short amount of time, all for a low-cost fee that will probably end in a 7.
Okay. So the video I watched, I think it was more focused towards, like, I don't know specifically how would you just call it, business coaching?
Yeah. So this was specifically, the event that I went to was a sort of how to grow your business, how to brand your business, how to market your business, how to make a lot of money in your business in a short amount of time. And I've been to a lot of these events. I started to notice similarities in the way they were marketed, the language that they used, the backstories they used, even down to recognizing the same people in the crowds at different events. And I just thought, I'm going to document my journey of going to these events and purchasing these products and joining the boot camps.
Okay. So initially, did you go to is this something you noticed when you attended them, like just out of interest because you actually wanted to attend, or did you go in thinking, I'm just going to check this shit out, see if there's something dodgy going on because I smell a rat?
I honestly went there because I sold my own business in 2017, and I was given a lump sum of money. It was like the dream for most people. I had a business, sold it for multiple millions, hit the jackpot, and being working class lads, you're not taught what to do with that amount of money. So I thought, I'm going to go and seek out these experts to tell me how to invest my money and make sure that I don't blow it. And that's where I started to look at different investments, whether it be investing in property, investing in cryptocurrency, stocks and shares, forex trading. And it was those adverts where it was a 23-year-old lad draped over a green Lamborghini.
I was going to ask you about this, but go ahead.
Yeah, it was those adverts that I thought, that seems quite interesting, and some of the returns there seem almost unbelievable. Why don't I allocate a pot of money, click on their advert, and follow through with their programs and
do the test, do the actual analytical.
I'm probably in a lucky position or an unusual position where this is a gamble to me, and people can see whether I am successful or unsuccessful in these things and then decide whether they really believe the adverts that they see. So I'm testing them out live.
Okay, yeah. I was going to actually come to this at a point later because I actually get a fair few kind of people. You'll see them, like, generally it's like the more like reality TV type influencer-y people who post about it, but it's like, Jamie is the best forex trading coach in such and such, and like sometimes they put together videos and it'll be like this girl like walking around Dubai Mall or something, buying a new fucking bag and shit like that, and it'll be like, she makes this much a day, and I'm like, they're not talking about like Jenny who sat home for like 6 hours 7 days a week and like ends up like 30 quid down. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I always say this, they always make out that it's easy, number one, and it's passive income. And you can do this from your spare bedroom for 2 hours a day or a week or whatever it might be. Honestly, newsflash, you are not going to be financially free from putting 2 hours worth of effort into anything a week. Like, it just doesn't happen. And I know that from having my own business and actually genuinely becoming a millionaire through the sale of that business. It's a long, hard graft to achieve that thing. But I get why they do it, because obviously if you make it sound easy, it's going to appeal to more people. If you say that anyone can do it, then, well, I'm anyone, I can do that thing. I get why they market it like that. So I'm just trying to almost readdress the balance and say, look, I am putting 100% effort into achieving a thing they're telling you can do in 2 or 4 hours, and this is my real result. So if I only make $1,000 in a year from doing that guy's program and he's promised you £1 million, I wouldn't recommend you'd buy that guy's program moving forward.
Do you think that it's like venturing into territory of what you would call a scam? Is any of it legit? or is it only dependent on like, is it very misrepresented results?
Yeah, I think
like let's say
clever marketing is probably the best way.
But clever /
manipulative,
very fucking dishonest.
Manipulative,
right?
I actually spoke to someone that many people had named as a entrepreneur on one of my videos, and he asked to speak to me. And I asked him,
do you mind saying who it was?
I won't say who it is.
I had to ask
for legal reasons.
People would have given me shit for not fucking asking.
No, so, and I said, honestly, how many people do you think would become financially free following your course? Bearing in mind, that's your headline marketing thing. Like anyone can do this. You can become financially free in a really short amount of time. And he said around 30%. So I was like, even personally, I still think that's high. That's 30%.
Sounds fucking great, right?
Yeah.
If you can make...
Exactly. Be financially free in 90 days, 30% of people that do a course. So realistically, it's probably 5%, less than 5%. But I know one person that will be financially free from that course, and that's him convincing 1,000 people that you'll all be financially free. There's only one person winning in that that kind of sale. So that's what it started.
So do these people tend to have like actual business backgrounds and stuff that they can, kind of put forward as their... this is my...
It's a mixture, really, like their experience. I often say that if they're selling a course or a boot camp or a masterclass in that field, and that is the field they claim to have made their money, there's a high percentage chance that they are not making money in that field. Let's take properties, the easiest one to give an example. So I'm from Warrington. So if I had a property workshop, how to find below market value properties in Warrington, and I'm on stage teaching 1,000 people that also live in Warrington how to find below market value properties, how to secure them, purchase them, and then rent them out. Surely I'm turning my own customers into competitors, because if that's where I make the majority of my money, why would I tell everyone in Warrington to make money the same way I do?
Of course, yeah. And surely you would make more money just putting all your effort into doing that.
Thing. Why am I wasting 14 hours today to stand here and tell you how to copy me and make money?
Maybe it's because he's such a good person, though.
Yeah, giving back.
But that is what you see. It's like, oh, I've made my money and I just want to help other people do this. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong, in the world there are far more deserving groups to help, where you can help homeless, you can help build schools in third world countries, you can help with all those types of things. But these people, their hearts are so big that they want to give back to a wealthy group of people that want a shortcut to success, that have got a credit card with a £2,000 limit on. That's not a group that needs a hand up in life, really. There's far more deserving people. Whisper it, I think they choose them people because they've got money and they can exploit them easily. Yeah. Allegedly.
And so, when you say exploit, what you mean, I'm guessing, is I don't know if it's got worse, or if it's always been like that, or if it's something to do with like the general state of things today. But do you think people are more desperate for that kind of quick fix than they have been? And do you think it's maybe just a result of kind of how in your face people's success tends to be?
I think so. I think and this is, take social media. People can't even wait 6 seconds to click skip ads on YouTube, can they? They're like desperately they're clicking it before it even says skip ads. No one can wait for anything. No one wants to put the graft in, hard work. No one wants to be told that this might take 4, 5, 6 years. So there's an element of that. Everyone wants everything now. We've got credit cards now. You can get things on hire purchase. Everybody wants the rewards now for the minimum amount of effort, don't they? That's why everyone wants a magic pill to make them look better, instantly in 30 days or whatever. Everyone wants the same in business. Everyone wants the ultimate is they want to win the lottery, don't they, rather than put the graft in and make the money the right way. So yeah, I think it's partly that, but I think also life is shit for the majority of people, myself included. You'll have shit days and that, and most people don't like their day job, and I think they're playing on those two things together, and then the techniques that they're using, like I was just like you 2 years ago, you can be just like this, and they're showing you say Instagram, they're showing you a snapshot of their life that probably isn't real, by the way. And then you're thinking that that's their everyday life, and then you want some of that in as quick a time frame as possible.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think it's, in a sense, it's like the privilege of the vast majority of us now, people who are like sat there watching fucking YouTube videos and whatever. We have the privilege of like roof over our head, bit of food, but that enables the kind of existential crisis of like, shit, now I need purpose, now I need to like, go out and be this, like, and that's coupled with the kind of rise of entrepreneurial coolness, isn't it? It's like
They're the celebrities of our generation now.
There's a big kind of stigma with like 9 to 5 shit and just being part of like something bigger than you. It's like you have to be fucking head honcho now. Like you have to be the boss calling the shots. Like, and I suppose that must kind of...
And society wouldn't work, by the way, if that happens. If everybody is out there flipping fidget spinners on eBay or whatever, like who's collecting the bins? Who's delivering the milk? Like the world needs... And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think so many people are aspiring to be something that they don't necessarily... They might not be equipped to achieve that thing, number one. And they're lining other people's pockets. You're following something that doesn't even exist for 99% of people anyway, so... Don't, is my advice.
Yeah, I suppose the entrepreneur of today is like the influencer in it, because it's like, in a sense, they can potentially have all these different avenue, like income streams. And I saw one and it was like, become a travel blogger, get paid to do such and such. And it was like, and I read through the spiel on the website, and it was literally saying just the craziest shit that like you could pull apart the logic. And I thought, like, it's just the exact same thing as someone selling me, like, how to...
so they selling a course to other people to tell you how to become a travel blogger?
Yeah, I think it was an ebook or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And when I think about it, it's not impossible, like. That's possible. It's possible, just very improbable by how it was. Yeah. I mean, I went into this guy's profile and he didn't have enough followers to be making money off his profile anyway. And I thought, like, that is possible, but I just for some reason doubted, like.
But imagine the alternative. Imagine that if there was such things, and it'd be interesting to do one, like a truthful ad. Imagine if the ad said, you could become a travel blogger. You will spend 60 hours a week traveling around, filming stuff, editing, recording stuff, uploading to YouTube, and that would probably scare a lot of people from buying that ebook. If they told you all the hard work that actually was required to do it first, they wouldn't sell enough of those. I mean, I don't know how much the ebook was, but £10 ebooks.
They obviously sell the top of the curve, like, to people, because anything, I suppose, social media based, if your income is tied to social media, then unless you're like one of the very lucky few who blows up quickly because of something, it is a lot of time in the trenches just being a Joey for people and like making fuck all money, and then maybe eventually after like years of actually like putting work in, maybe then you're like comfortable and now you can go on your nice fucking holidays and do your travel blogs and shit like that. But it's kind of like selling people the results of that.
We get it in some of our investments. So some of the investments, we've invested in all different things, whether it be crypto, mining, stocks and shares, properties in the UK, properties abroad, affiliate marketing. We're doing all these courses and checking our results. Whenever they're being advertised to us, we're being told what we can get back. It's always, like you said, the top of the curve. It's the top line, the best case scenario results. And so far, not one of the things has achieved anywhere near that. When we would have been less pissed off and been less likely to complain or call them a scammer or a contrepreneur, if they'd been more realistic in their returns, we wouldn't be sat there thinking, this crypto machine's going to make us 600 quid a month. If they said it'll probably be around £200 a month, then we wouldn't be as pissed off today. Or
do you think that the solution to that is just generally like trying to make more people aware, or do you think like in terms of advertising there should be more strict kind of regulations? Because a lot of industries do have those kind of regulations. You can't make certain claims about foods and stuff like that, you know.
Yes, this is the best one. I always liken, so say a good comparison for two products that we've invested in, stocks and shares and crypto, because it's very similar. You're mining coins, because we mine coins, so we're mining coins, and then the price of them coins will go up and down. Now, I've got a financial advisor who invests into stocks and shares for me. Legally, because it's a regulated industry, he can't hide in the grey areas or like be ambiguous with his language. Legally, he has to say certain statements at different points. So he has to make me aware that your investments can go down to zero and you could lose all your money. Crypto haven't got them regulations. So that's how come you get on your I get Instagram DMs now saying, come and pay £150 and get 1,000% return from our crypto mining rigs. They can't even spell mining right. You know what I mean? It's like the scam, you can't even spell the thing that you're trying to scam me with, right? But they're hiding in that world where, because it's not regulated yet, and they'll push that scam for as long as they can until the next one comes along. So yeah, I think they do hide behind the market in the grey areas. I think it needs to be regulated. And I think hopefully, and this wasn't the reason why we were doing this, this is kind of like snowballed into this thing. We just did it because we thought it was funny and people should be aware of it, and let's start showing people the real results. We hope that possibly some of these mentors and gurus, like you said on Instagram, they have to, you know, with food and stuff, they will have to make almost like this has been sponsored, almost like, so these aren't actual results, or these results may vary, you know, like put in some sort of honest
disclaimer,
yeah, that's the word. Yeah, so they'd have to find a disclaimer for that. So I think so, and that's how come they're prevalent on Instagram, because it's like the wild, wild west on social media at the moment. It won't be like this in 10 years' time, I don't think. Yeah,
I was thinking that I noticed one of your videos actually was about, I forgot when I introduced you to mention that you're a best-selling author. And
banned best-selling author now.
Oh, okay. Tell us about it.
So one thing I noticed about all these experts online is they always seem to be an Amazon bestseller. And it just got me thinking, I doubt they're like J.K. Rowling. They're not writing books that are worthy of being bestsellers, I imagine, because a lot of them can't even spell their own product that they're selling. So I looked into it to see how easy was it to get an Amazon bestseller. So to prove the point of how bullshit it is, I created a book. It took me 1 hour to create. It was called How to Become a #1 Amazon Bestseller. So bearing in mind I'd never done the thing before, that's what we called the book. And I wrote blank page on 144 blank pages, uploaded it to Amazon, and Amazon said the books are manually checked before they're uploaded. And then I put it in a really niche category, because what I noticed is that's what they do. They always pick like bullshit categories to put the book in, and then it's based on sales over a 24-hour period. That book was the #1 selling book in its category within 24 hours. It was being used as the icon on Amazon Books for the whole business section, and it was named as the hot release of the day. And it was a blank book. It said nothing in it at all. And I got that as a #1 Amazon bestseller, which then made the media and the news in Australia, weirdly, I don't know why they picked it up. And I was the internet prankster and entrepreneur Mike Winnet. And then they contacted Amazon for comment, how have you let a blank book get to #1 in the Amazon bestseller? Proper taking the piss out of Amazon and also all these entrepreneurs that use it as sort of, look at me, haven't I written
credentials.
Yeah, fake authority. And then Amazon pulled the book. Didn't pay me the money either.
God damn it.
But it wasn't for the money. You have to pay 70% royalty anyway, so I was only making like 21p a book.
Yeah.
But I got a #1 book with a blank book with 49 copies sold, and that was deemed an Amazon bestseller. Now, if I can do it with a blank book, don't believe the crypto guy that says he's a bestseller, or the leadership guru that's telling you he's a bestseller. It's bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah. That's why I was. Yeah.
It's a good book, by the way.
Yeah.
You can read it in one sitting.
I've read it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because really, like you were saying about the internet, it kind of, everything can get buried in it, and it's like kind of just words on a fucking website, and it can just hype someone up to look.
Do you want to give you a perfect example of how bullshit this is? So similar to, we spoke off camera about how do you get started and stuff, and you kind of do satirical or parody videos. I started on LinkedIn just taking the worst humble brag of the week that I saw on LinkedIn and like flipping it and making it like bad business advice. And I put it out. And so I was like the bad business guru. That was like, it was like a joke to me just because I was bored. I had nothing else to do. And as a piss take, I called myself the UK's #1 demotivational speaker and set up a fake website with a sold out world tour. And that was it. So you couldn't buy tickets to actually go and see me speak. Within about 2 weeks, people were leaving real testimonials saying that they saw me in Berlin, or they saw me in Finland, or they saw me in Barcelona. These events didn't take place, but people were saying it was one of the best experiences of my life.
Why do you think people were doing that?
Because people are stupid. No, people are mental, aren't they? I don't know. Are they in on the joke? Is it because it was seen as, because I found that people came in two groups. So the people that realised what I was doing and thought it was funny. And then I think some people thought it was real. And I think that you can't, in the middle there's some people thinking, well, they're all saying they went to that event and it was brilliant. I'm going to say I was there too. And before you know it, people were like ringing me to see if I'd do speaking at their event. I'd never done a speaking event before.
Yeah.
I was getting asked to do all sorts all over.
Take the gigs, man.
Yeah, I should have.
Just turn up.
Might have made some money, so.
Silence. Yeah, so the reason I was asking about that is because when I try and look at people, because I see the same shit sometimes, like, you know, you search for something like business related on Amazon, and then your next advert on YouTube is like some dude who's like, oh yeah, I was down in the dumps, and then I did this, and I applied this 7-step strategy, such and such. And I look at them and I think, it's always like, by the way, I don't know if I'm sure you picked up on this, it's always like the most amateurly shot shit ever to give you that like proper amateur porn feel, isn't it? It's like you're in the fucking room, like, you know, oh yeah, the guy just picked up his fucking selfie camera, like.
As long as they got the car in the background though, through the window.
And I'm like, I try and dig down a bit, and I'm like, right, so what is this person's business? Yeah. And it's just teaching people to set up an online business. Yeah. But to do what? And all I can find is to coach other people to set up an online business. And I'm like, does anyone do anything like, or is it just
your
an
only
endless...
business is to teach other people how to run a business? It's like, but you've never ran a business. You're a one-man band. You've never had staff. You've never had to do PAYE for people. You've never had to set up national insurance for employees and stuff. And that's kind of the whole world seems to be running on bullshit, really. But weirdly, that's the currency now. Likes and shares and thumbs up means something to some people.
Is like kind of proof of social proof, like, isn't it? Yeah. How much do you think of this is like lands at the feet of the individual? Like, you know, because some of this shit I see, a lot of the stuff you'll see and you'll be like, this guy's such a bullshit artist. There's no way I'd ever fall for this.
Do you mean the person that hands over the money?
And you think, you think, is that someone's... Because in every industry, there are probably some underhand marketing practices and stuff. And I think, in a sense, like, there has to be some line in the sand where it's like, right, if you get sucked in by this shit, you just ain't going to get anywhere. Like, and this is just has to be your responsibility. Like,
I would... This is the bit where I'm a bit conflicted sometimes, because like I said before, I know a lot of people in business. Through when we sold our business, I've met a lot of people that have sold their business and other entrepreneurs and stuff. I've not met one person that's successful that said, oh, it was Ty Lopez's 67-step business guide that made me wealthy. I've never heard that anywhere, which would suggest it doesn't work, right? But if you are going online and you are looking for this course, a 7 steps to becoming a millionaire in business, it's kind of your own fault. If you're looking for a shortcut to start with, it's like lambs to the slaughter, isn't it, really? I think they have to take some responsibility. Some people are stupid, yet if the product's good and it's valuable and it does deliver the results, there's nothing wrong with it. I think if you're using manipulative tactics, especially at the live events, I've seen plants in the audience get up and run to the back of the room to sign for a course. But then I've seen the same 6 people do that at another event 2 weeks later, another event 2 weeks later. Like, people pay to look like excited customers.
Yeah, that must be across a line.
That's what I mean. And so it's like, I think testimonials are fine. Fake testimonials are bad. I've been at an event where the person on stage has said, if you would like my mentoring for free to qualify, you need to go on Trustpilot now and leave me a 5-star review. So you've got people in the audience there leaving a 5-star review for a course they've never actually taken yet. So that's not right. But if someone gets value from your course and 3 weeks later leaves a 5-star review, that testimonial is a good testimonial. Yeah. So I haven't got a problem with necessarily the tactics. It's the intent of the person and the fake versus unreal, unfake, if they're authentic or not. Yeah, it's those types of things. But yeah, I think people, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So if you're falling for these things, if you fall for a phishing email from a Nigerian prince that's got 23 billion oil money in some barrels for you, and they just need your bank details, if you fall for that for now, you deserve everything you get. In my mind, we're a bit, but this is a bit more. But
some are a bit more subtle.
Yeah, because it's playing on like emotions. It's like logic. Everyone wants to do better. It's manipulative. It's showing you people just like you that can achieve these things. I've seen 16, 17-year-old lads sign up to property mentorship at these live events. You can't get a mortgage until you're 18. So why is someone taking $6,000 off this lad? Like, surely you should say, no, this isn't right. But they don't care as long as they're getting your money. Yeah. But then some would argue he should know he can't get a mortgage at 16. But we've all done stupid shit when we're 16. Yeah, and if you're in a room for 14 hours and people's telling you can become financially free, you can be earning $100,000 a year, it's easy for them to be manipulated. And I think that's where it's a bit wrong.
I definitely think that in the same sense, how you're saying, like, if you're in a room and everyone's saying this, well, in a way, because everything's so targeted on your social media and YouTube and whatever it is, you can be in a room when you're at your laptop,
Yeah.
you know, and it's very much a culture, really, an entrepreneurial culture, isn't it, that people kind of become part of. It's like a club, really.
I always say you are what you consume, and that's with your social media content. Like, I find it amazing. I'd never heard of Gary Vee or Grant Cardone or Ty Lopez at all. 2 years ago, I'd never heard of any of these people. Yeah, I was in business. I only found out these people when I sold my business, and I was looking for experts and gurus in different things to invest in. So that's how come now, because I've searched for them online before, I'm just bombarded with adverts for these types of people. So to me now, my reality online is everybody knows Gary Vee. How do you not know Gary Vee? But I'm amazed. I'll say at home or to some of my friends, or I've been over to see Gary Vee, or I'm the 10X conference with Grant Cardone, and they're like, who are these people? But their social media feed might be about comedy or football or whatever it might be. So yeah, so you can be at your room and you think that everybody that's your age drives a green Lamborghini, or you think everybody has a Rolex or everybody has a Ferrari, when the reality is they're probably leasing that for the day, and they've targeted you. Wherever you go on the internet now, you're going to think that becomes your norm and your reality, when it's not even their reality in the advert, for the most part.
Let's not name names in terms of these entrepreneurs, but is there anyone that sticks out that you think is a particularly good source of information for people or anything like that, or anyone you've come across that you think is really like worth the salt and like this is good shit? And it's
but weirdly it's not the ones that are selling you can be just like them. They're just giving you good advice. And I say the same thing with mentors. Most mentors, if a mentor's asking you for money, they're probably not going to be the right mentor. Like, I've got business mentors that if I take them out for a meal, they'll impart knowledge on me and it's good, but there's nothing in it for them, bar they've seen something in you, they like you, or they want to help you, and they get sort of enjoyment out of that. But I would say there's probably something in value from everybody you listen to online. You just have to not take everything they say as gospel. So there are ones that are good. I recently had an interview with a guy called James Sinclair. I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. He is the family fairs and nurseries, day nurseries, and kids play areas and stuff. And he does mentoring. He only mentors 4 businesses at any one time. And some of the business knowledge he gives to people is unreal. But you can find that on his YouTube channel. He's not got a course to upsell you. He's not upselling you anything. Like, he's got a good channel. There's Gary Vee, if you like him or hate him, and he divides opinion. 30% of the things that he say is true. You do have to work hard. You don't have to work 21 hours a day till your eyes are bleeding and not sleep. That's fucking stupid. But you can kind of work hard. That's a good lesson. You can kind of take bits from all of them, but you need to apply them to your scenario. And then, does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. I think we're in a culture of putting people on pedestals. So it's like every single thing they say has to be true or false. That's
not real life, though, is it?
It's a very kind of black and white culture. There isn't enough kind of context, and even I suppose this is why people can be so susceptible to these kind of market employees, and that there isn't that much actual. There's probably not the level of critical thinking that needs to be applied to things. Like, for example, if someone's making this crazy claim about their 7-step ebook or some shit like that, and so I think it's a great point that no one knows everything about everything, but there is probably some value and something that people can teach you. That's probably true for most people. I'll say this: the
worst entrepreneur in my mind that I've seen, and I won't mention his name, while I was there for his 12-hour event, there was 2 bits of information that he said there just about business in general that have stuck with me, and I've thought, actually, that was worth it. So even if you don't sign up to the bullshit 7997 course that he's going to try and sell you at the end, if you just left here ignoring all the other stuff and not getting caught up in the hype and high-fiving each other and saying, yes, I will succeed, and running straight into the back of the room, just taking that bit of information, you're probably in a better position than you were before you came here. And I think this is sometimes, you'll know this from the internet, people seem to be tribal, and maybe that's with society. Brexit, you either remain or not. I didn't vote. I wasn't asked either way. I didn't know what the right answer was, so I thought, so why vote either way? To me. I don't want to talk about politics, but say Gary Vee. Some people I hate Gary Vee, he's an idiot. Cool, but he's an idiot that might say some stuff that's true. Or, I love Gary Vee, everything he says is gospel. It's well, he also says some stupid stuff. Same with Grant Cardone, same with Ty Lopez, same with any of these people. But I think people almost want it to be like, they're the goodies, they're the baddies. When in reality, good people do bad shit. Bad people do good shit sometimes. I don't know why we still think that. Do you know what I mean?
I definitely do, yeah. It's yeah.
Like, I contradict myself sometimes. Like,
I don't think
get different
anyone gets through life without contradicting themselves. No. Like, the whole point is that hopefully as you get older, you're getting like at least a little bit more fucking wise, or, you know, amassing some kind of knowledge, and that's I suppose the whole point. Like, you're always going to look back and think, that was probably bullshit, or probably like gave some people some bad advice right there, like, shit, you know, and just try and do a better job next time. Like,
but also as well, like, if someone wants one sort of definite, steadfast rule that works in business, whether it be anything, whether it be like cold calling someone, or if you stand up and smile before you dial, you're going to get through. But there's going to be a time when that doesn't work. So if someone goes, well, it didn't work, so the whole thing doesn't work, you're like, well, it's not going to work on every call. If you're expecting one rule to fit all, you'll get it with like training and stuff. You know, what do? Do you do like more reps? Is it heavier weight? It's like, well, it depends. Your body's going to react to different things at different times or whatever. There's not like this suits everybody, this body type. You've kind of learned through experience, haven't you?
100%, yeah. Little segue. Do you think that the whole Contrepreneur thing, do you think it translates whatsoever into, like, say I walk into Waterstones now, I go to the business section, I can buy Tim Ferriss, 4-Hour Work Week, I can buy plenty of books that claim to be able to help me do this or that. Do you think that there's any kind of crossover, or is that just like more regulated, or is there a higher buy-in, to get there?
With stuff like that as well, I think there's a culture, especially now, especially on social media. I don't know if so much on Instagram, but on LinkedIn, there was, for a few months, it was people would take photographs of their stack of business books. Like, this is my reading list. Cool, you're taking photos of it, but you've got to read them. You're probably better off buying one book, reading it, taking something from it, and then implementing that thing, rather than, I'm just going to read a book a week and not do fuck all about it. Do you know what I mean? You need to use that information you get. But on the book titles, I think there's a book called The 1 Minute Millionaire, and that sold 130 million copies.
Jeez. That's as extreme as it can get.
Do you know what I mean? But that sold 130 million copies because people are thinking, I can be a millionaire, and probably don't even read the book. But if there was a book next to it on the shelf that said The 100-Hour Work Week, my 15-year slog to becoming a millionaire, which is probably more likely to be the story, they won't sell many books. So even that, we're being manipulated at all points. But it's a bit more regulated, because I think they're not hiding in the grey areas. It's like someone's passed it. And also, a review on a book is more likely to be real, I think, in that scenario, if they're not upselling, of course. So.
All right, so before we wrap up, give me an idea of what you'd say are the most common pitfalls, or what, maybe if I'm scrolling down Instagram, what I've got to look out for. What's the major kind of like red flags that I've got to fucking be like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, a Rolex in front of a Lamborghini steering wheel. I always say this about those pictures. Look at the world's most wealthiest people. I'm talking about the top 1%. I don't think, number one, they're on Instagram. And number two, they definitely aren't posting pictures of themselves of their watch and their cars and that. I think it's something that we think is what wealthy people do, when in reality they don't do that. And I don't know why we aren't following. So let's say Warren Buffett, he drives a car that's 7 years old. He's probably got more money than your favourite guru. So why aren't we being more like him? Because he's not all over social media shouting, screaming, please copy me. But you can follow what he does. He's got his letters that he puts out every year. He tells you what he's investing in. That's all available for free. You can follow Warren Buffett's plan for free if you just did a bit of research. But no, you've got some 20-year-old lad from Manchester screaming, look how I'm a dropshipping guru. You can make £100,000 in 30 days. So if someone's screaming and telling you how successful they are, then you need to avoid them, I would say. Because is it true wealth or true success whispers? That's probably the best way of putting it.
Okay, what's next for you in terms of the Contrepreneur series? I saw it got pulled off YouTube. I was looking for it today to re-watch, and I was like, it's not fucking there anymore. So
it got pulled by someone made a copyright claim against a channel called Russell Brunson. He has got a company called ClickFunnels, which a lot of people use as like a sales software.
I've heard of ClickFunnels, yeah.
So he pulled the content, so we're going to re-upload that. We might put a few references to ClickFunnels in there as a bit of a joke this time. We've had Paramount and Netflix showing interest in turning this into a series and maybe doing some stuff in America. really, we want some of our fucking money back. We've invested £500,000 into this now.
Wowza.
And not one thing is giving us the returns that's promised, which is mad because we're not trying to sabotage it or hijack it. We want these to work.
You want it to work. It's your own money, right?
Yeah, and this is the one thing I think people think, you're out here trying to expose people. I'm not. I'm just trying to give a true reflection of the returns. So hopefully some of these things start working, we make some of our money back. And if not, we'll be back to normal jobs by this time next year.
Yeah. Well, and the world will have to say fucking thank you for spending your money and saving ours. All right. Where can everyone find you?
So I'm on YouTube as Mike Winnet. Winnet is like winner, but with a T. A lot of people appear to say, do you know what Winnet means? I
will also link everything in the description of the YouTube videos and everything. But
Instagram, same Mike Winnet. I don't follow anyone on Twitter or Instagram. I'm a proper weirdo like that.
Yeah, that is weird. I always think that's weird, but each to their own, man.
Do you want me to tell you the thought process behind that?
Go on.
If anyone come on my page, they think, oh, that's weird. He doesn't follow me on it. He must be worth following. That was my...
But I think that's weird. He must want people to think that he's like...
Double bluff.
Yeah.
Yes. Inception.
Anyway, right. Thank you very much for turning up. It was a fucking pleasure. It was very interesting, and I'm sure we'll all keep up to date with the Contrepreneur series.
Cheers.
Look forward to learning shit. Out, people. See you later.